Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of the Bottom Line Podcast, where we say what we mean, what we say we mean, and we mean what we say. Because at the core of everything that is, was, and forever will be, there will always be the bottom line. Today's guest, I found an Italian in Canada. on Facebook, and she's hilarious. I mean, when I say hilarious, right? Like sometimes people will reschedule a call, and my relief to that, when things go a little out of schedule, go a little out of whack, is laughter, actually. And I think laughter helps you release the dopamines. And if you can release the dopamines, you can pretty much recalibrate and readjust and shift gears in a more positive way, right? So I scroll through my Facebook and I see Stella here, and I'm like, she is hilarious. She takes this stuff seriously. Like, she does skits and she does everything that I'm actually afraid to do. You won't catch me do any of that stuff. Not just yet, anyways. I'm not as good as you. Anyways, today's guest is Miss Stella D. Nicola, okay? Stella D for short, right? She's an actress, model, improv. She's an actress, model, and does improv. And she does collabs, and she's really funny with these Tick Tock skits, right? And she is out in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Stella, thanks for being a guest on the Bottom Line Podcast. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited that you made time to be a guest. I watch your stuff and I just crack up. Where do you come up with this stuff? Like, how do you pick your content, right? Like, is this stuff that makes you laugh and you're like, oh, I got to do this? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just watch other people do it and I just see if I can improve on it. And yeah, it's stuff I gotta like and think that's funny myself, right?
Yeah,
So,
you look like you're having a lot of fun.
I am having a lot of fun. I love making people laugh.
Yeah.
And when I get the messages in my DMs that are like, during this difficult time, thank you for your videos. They make me laugh. They make me feel better. Please continue. And that's what keeps me going with, making more videos and more content.
Yeah, you're really good at it. So so Canada's, it's not too far from the US. You could drive there, but everybody's impacted differently by this pandemic, by this virus. So how have you been impacted by the pandemic, by this virus?
It hasn't really affected me that much. I mean, I work in a dental office, so obviously we had to shut down. We shut down from March to June, and then we started back up again. So yeah, I'm back at work full time, and I kind of like, I'm a homebody, as we were talking previously, but I like to stay home and just go to work and keep my social circle small.
Right.
I try to take all the precautions necessary, wearing a mask and gloves when I go out and about, and just keep my surroundings clean too.
Yeah, I'm a homebody too. So like I realize now, and this was funny, right? I saw a movie a while ago with Jack Nicholson, and he was like, he plays a germaphobe, right? And he's like, everything's, the movie I'm talking about? I forget what it's called. And Jack Nicholson doesn't do movies anymore, but it's one of the best movies I've ever seen, right? And he's a extreme germaphobe, right? I mean, he won't go anywhere without wiping it down. He has thoughts about germs and everything, right? Like, he's super obsessive, compulsive with it. And now I feel like that's how I've become because of this pandemic, right? I'm always wiping things down when I'm outside, like my hands sanitizing and everything. I feel freaking paranoid about it all, right? Have you had to make any adjustments? Besides,
no, because I was a germaphobe before working in a dental office. So I just am, 10 times more being a germaphobe. And I used to work out religiously pre-COVID, and now I haven't set foot in a gym. So I have my own home gym here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I work out at home as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? You got to, right? I try to get some workouts in too. I am kind of like, I'm iffy about going to the gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Because people are sweating on the equipment, and even though you're wiping it down, it's like there's still residual sweat. Like, you're not going to get all of it off. So I'm like, I'll just stay home.
Yeah, it's kind of like creepy, right? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know. So that's how much of a germaphobe I am. Yeah, I'll just stay home. Thanks. Yeah.
So between March and say June, right? Is that when you discovered like the acting side? I can tell you're like in acting, right? Like you're really good at it. Even if you tried to play it off as like, you're just working in dental, and we were just like maybe having drinks or just talking and you just said however you are and you just came out of your shell, I can tell that you have this acting ability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about when you discovered your ability to act or your passion for acting. When did that happen?
Oh God. I remember as kids, me and my cousin, probably very young, maybe around 10 or 12.
Mm.
I don't know, it's so long ago. I'm so old, I can't even remember. But me and my cousin used to
Right.
love to perform and sing in front of our family. You know how Italians are, we get together, and
Yeah.
I have a huge family. It's bigger now, but
Okay.
yeah, we used to love to sing and dance and perform in front of the family. And my dad was always with the video camera,
Yeah.
videotaping everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think at a very young age, I would, just love to perform.
Yeah.
And but I was a very shy kid, but put
Were you
me in
really?
front of a camera. Yeah, put me in front of a camera and I just let it all out.
Yeah. Nice. So how many
Yeah.
siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I have two younger brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they
Yeah.
super protective of you?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
maybe a little bit, but not really. They live far away and they're very busy with their own lives. They have
Uh-huh.
families, younger kids. My younger brother, who's 12 years younger than me,
Okay.
has little ones, and they both work in the automotive industry.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Were you into like
Mhm.
theater when you were in school? Were you into like acting or like doing the
Drama
school
class,
plays?
yeah, I
Drama.
was into
Okay.
drama class,
Yeah.
and I was into fitness and weight training. So
Gotcha.
those were my biggest two things that I loved doing growing
Okay.
up in high school. Yeah,
Yeah. So like
yeah,
drama is cool and like acting is cool, but you're funny. So there's this comedy, this comedian bone that you have in you. It's like,
yeah,
it's funny, right? Because sometimes my son, he's like 8, and I'll just like creep up behind him, I'll grab his elbow, like the inner part of his elbow, and then he's like, "Leave me alone." And I'm like, "I'm looking for your funny bone." Like when he's upset, right? When he like has a
yeah,
temper tantrum or
yes,
something, I'll try to
yes,
make him laugh, right? And
yeah,
I'll try to look for his funny bone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like I think everybody has one, but you don't really know where it is.
Mhm.
So you're funny. When did you like start making jokes out of things or started to find like the funny side of things, right? When did that happen?
Oh, I don't know. It just kind of happened maybe within the past 5 years. I
Okay.
think, yeah. I don't think I was always funny. I was very I don't know how I can say this in a nice way. I think I was very when I was married, I was
Uh-huh.
very bitchy and unhappy and miserable. So
uh,
maybe it happened
right.
after my divorce.
Gotcha.
When I got those papers
Right.
and I opened it and it legit said, your divorce is finalized on December 25th, 2004. And I'm like, hallelujah,
Yeah, freedom, huh?
freedom.
Oh crap.
That's day of my life. That's day
Yeah,
of my life.
that's funny. So it's funny you say that, right? Because dang, that poor guy, right? Because he's missing out on this side of you, right?
I
This
know. But he's
comedic side.
happy now with his
Right.
Romanian stripper. So
Ah, okay. So poor
yeah,
you.
he married one of those. He married one of those. So like
Wow. Okay.
he was an asshole, but I wish him well.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him in 15 years. So
Yeah.
he has a new family, new life,
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
this is funny because it's like when I see you, like, and what I like is what I was telling you when you do the skits between like that one you did with Diego and I think whatever the girl's name was, right? And it was like Diego was such a prick, like he was such
Yeah.
a right, and then he was like,
Yeah.
but at the core of it, he actually loved her,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
then they were like inseparable. Now that's hilarious. Now all the work that it takes for you to go into those two characters, right? And
Right.
then really like capture Diego, who's being a jerk, right?
Yeah.
Like what goes into that? So walk me through it because you make it look super easy on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh my God. It's not super easy because you have to switch out of your outfits. So I try and make that as simple as possible, you know, with the black jacket, you know, being the dude, and the nice pink top being the female, and just kind of like setting your timer and, you know, making sure everything is spot on with your wording and, you know, the next scene. So, yeah.
Yeah. Are you like, to me, you're like, you're an actor that's bored and you're like, well, I've got this funny, I got to get it out, right? I got to get it out. So you find a way to get it out, right? And then it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how are people responding to you and to like what you're doing? Because it's
Yeah,
needed
I
right
get a
now.
lot of good feedback from my male audience, not my female audience. I have a couple of women that reach out to me, you know, with the outfits I wear, and they like the outfits that I wear, and so do the men.
Right.
But
of course, right? Of course they do.
they're a little bit more graphic. In what they say in my DMs, but for the most part, a lot of them are very nice,
right?
And they wish me well, and they say continue with, you know, making me laugh and continue with the videos. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And yeah, like I said, in this time, it's, I don't know, everybody's just having a difficult time, and I just want to make people laugh. I want to make people happy.
Yeah. No, I think like I was saying, like, you know, my days are funny, right? Because sometimes I set my schedule like a week in advance, right? And then I'll have everything, but then it's kind of like things happen and you can't really talk sometimes. People got to reschedule sometimes. And I think having like maybe 10 minutes to like recalibrate and just find something funny to laugh at, right? That's really what's necessary, I think, for me anyway. So I don't take myself too seriously, right?
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither
And when
do
you're
I.
like
You
working,
can't.
no, you shouldn't, right?
I'm a goofball at work as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you don't like it, this is who I am, and I will never change for anybody. This is why I kind of left the old job, because I couldn't be myself. And I'm like, my office manager didn't want me to talk to anybody. And I'm like,
wow,
I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I can't just, not interact with people.
Yeah.
To me, that's very important. I'm front line. You're what I see when you walk in. So I feel like to put people at ease as well, coming into a dental office, a lot of people are nervous. So it was like, keep your mouth shut and don't talk to anybody. And I'm like, sorry, gotta go.
Can't do that.
So yeah.
Yeah. How about so let's see. When you really started becoming aware of your ability to act and make people laugh and all, right? Like what was did you go out and do auditions for like any kind of shows or any kind of roles?
Actually, I went on Kijiji. I think this is back in 2016, if not before, maybe 2015. I would just look under the media section, and I found this guy who was filming a horror movie, and I got a part in that. So I auditioned for that. It's just an indie horror film, but it ended up being in a Toronto film horror festival. I think it's called Tish, and it's on every spring. Toronto International Spring Horror Film Festival. And it was the top 10 movies that it was showing in Carlton Cinemas, downtown Toronto. And that was very exciting for me because I had my first speaking role, even though it was an indie horror film.
What did you play? Like, what was your character?
I actually played a character. My name was Karen, and I was doing a documentary outing a psychic who was a fraud. And
that's funny.
Yeah, it is. And there's a trailer on YouTube. It's called The Haunt. It's under 2016. So if you want to check that out,
I'm gonna look that up. Yeah.
And but I'm not part of the trailer.
Then I don't want to see it.
No, but I do have my reels. So it's exciting to have that and actually see yourself. When I brought my daughter with me for the premiere of it. And it was exciting to see myself up on the big screen in a movie theater. So And then he did another one, and I asked him if he ever needed, you know, another actress to play a part, to give me a call, and he did, and he put me on in a second movie, and that was supposed to show in April again, and COVID hit, so they're rescheduling it for next year, and that one's Cult of Nightmares.
Nice. Okay, so talk to me about like what that looks like though. Like, okay, you're going into an audition, and then were you always super confident, like the way you are the way you come up? Yeah, always. You never really had any nervous jitterbugs or like butterflies in the stomach?
I mean, you get nervous, but I feel like that fuels my flame inside of me. It's my passion. So if you have a passion for something, then you know.
Yeah.
I went for my audition, and he's like, okay, so here's your lines, practice them, and then come back.
Yeah.
So I did that, and he's like, you're a natural at this. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. Yeah. It's what I want to do. I want to act.
Yeah.
So,
wow. Yeah. What about the competitive side of it? Like having to compete with other, like, you're not worried about that? That doesn't bother you?
No, you have to have a thick skin, and I have a very thick skin. You have to in dental. So I just think I just have a natural thick skin, and you need to accept the rejection. And if you get rejected for something, then it's like, what can I do better at my next audition that's going to get me that part?
Gotcha.
So so I kind of put off the auditions for a bit, and then really I found myself an agent last year.
Okay.
And then once the ball got rolling, I entered into improv classes, which I was doing every Sunday. But then COVID hit, so couldn't go to any auditions, you know.
So improv
this
is
time
cool.
really sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah. I hope it ends soon, but yeah.
Yeah, you're missing the improv, huh? Like you're missing it. Like,
well, I've done 2 classes, but I've kind of been feeling a little bit under the weather, so I don't want to make anybody else sick.
Right.
So I've missed, I think we've had 4 classes altogether. I did the 2, and then I missed the second 2, but yeah, I just don't feel safe. And now with the Ontario guidelines, they're saying you can only be with people in your household or a neighbor or something like that. So no more gatherings of more than 10 people, I think, or 8. Or, I don't know.
UK is locked down completely too. UK, I think in the UK, I was watching on the news that they can't have 2 families living in the same house or being in the same house mixing together. They got to keep the families separate.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully, you know, this thing, we get back to normal at some point, right?
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit into like, okay, because like I watch your stuff, right? And I think like acting and improv are 2 different things, I think, right? Because acting, you get to do retakes, and you get to do take after take, and you get editing a little bit. And it's like the video content people put out on like Instagram or like Facebook or social media generally, right? You can tell what's scripted and what's not scripted, right? You can tell by the tone, the tonality. You can tell about like the content. You can tell when somebody veers away, their eyes glance off to go, they're reading something. Back until they make eye contact with the camera. You can tell all of that. Like I look for all of that, right? And it makes for good content creation, right? But improv is like unscripted. It's like you're live, right? You got to find ways for you to like recover if you fumble a little bit, right? So not that I don't have any respect for acting. I love actors. I cherish acting. I wish I could do it, right? I admire it. But improv takes some guts. Like you have
to, like in class, you have to be on the ball and just think on your feet of your character. And my improv coach is always like, I don't want to see Stella. I want to see somebody else. Your demeanor, you have to change your voice, your who you are, and you have to become this character. So it's like you have to think on the spot. Whatever he throws at you, it's like you become. And it's really difficult. But if you enjoy doing something like that, which I do, it just comes naturally.
Who are some of your influences growing up?
My God. I'm gonna say my top 2 would have to be Betty White.
Oh wow. She's
from Golden.
hilarious.
I
Yeah.
love her. And I think she's in her 90s and
She's a
she's still
riot.
going. She did SNL last year.
Yeah.
And she said she would never do it again because it's the hardest thing she's ever done. So
Okay.
one of my goals is to be on SNL as a guest or
Wow.
even have my own show.
Yeah.
And another one, Robin Williams.
He was a
I love
beast.
him.
Yeah, he was a beast. Mrs. Doubtfire. So I was never into like seeing guys dress up as women, but that guy was so funny when he did that. Mrs. Doubtfire. I grew up on Mrs. Doubtfire.
I know.
Yeah, so he was a riot too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Betty White. Did you see Betty White do the pranks? Like she used to go do it. I think she had a prank show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sweet old lady was pranking people.
Yeah, I watched it. I don't really watch a lot of TV.
Right.
But I did catch her show a couple of times.
Yeah.
And honestly, she's so funny.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Tell me about your TV show.
I know. It's like, pardon?
Tell me about your TV show.
Oh, if I were to have my own TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I would be like, so I kind of want to reboot the Mary Tyler Moore show and be Mary Tyler Moore, but in my life.
Yeah.
And instead of being a news reporter, I'd be like, you know, trying to make it in Hollywood at my age.
Okay.
Because I'm 47.
Wow.
So I kind of like, you know, started late with the modeling and the acting.
Yeah.
So I think that would make for a good TV show.
Yeah.
And, you know, the crappy love life. being single after 15 years.
Right.
And kind of just, I think that would be a good show, but I'd want to make it a comedy.
Okay.
Or just kind of do skits, like I think it's called the Baron von, I can't remember, something along the lines of like Saturday Night Live, and just do skits and like that.
Yeah.
And have other people, you know, other TikTokers that I see out there that I'd be like, oh my God, I have, you know, a wonderful show that I would want to put together with these other TikTokers.
Yeah.
The same page, and I think it would be hilarious.
I'd watch it. I'd definitely watch it. I think we all need to laugh a little bit more. We all need a little bit more humor, you know? Yeah. So that's funny.
So if there's anybody out there that, you know, sees this,
wants to collab.
Let's get this rolling.
Collab with Stella here.
Collab.
Yeah. This is like
I actually messaged this one guy. I think he's in Toronto, and I'm like, I think he's so funny, and I'm like, can we do a TikTok together? Because it would be the best. Yeah. And he hasn't gotten back to me, but he probably thinks I'm just like some psycho chick.
Right. Right. You should
like,
just put out.
Who is this girl reaching out to me?
Yeah, just call him or call him out on TikTok so you get his attention. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That'll probably do it, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back into improv. One of the things that I think about when it comes to improv too is like theater, right? And in New York, you get a lot of aspiring actors, and they want to go into theater. That's how they get their start. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Bronx Tale. The Bronx Tale with Chaz Palminteri. That movie started out as an actual play. It was like a single person play, a one person play. And it was just Chaz Palminteri. He did all the characters, right? So I'm wondering if you, how do you feel about theater? And have you done any theater? Is that something you'd be interested in?
I haven't done any theater, but it's funny you should mention that, because I was talking to my daughter last week. I went to go visit her. And I said, wouldn't it be funny, or would it be a good idea if I actually did theater, but it was myself creating different characters? Yeah. So yeah, I kind of would be, you know, up for that challenge.
Yeah, I see you doing that. Yeah. I can see.
I write a lot of stuff too. I write my own, I guess, kind of poetry or.
Really? Yeah. Nice. What about like your own plays and screenwriting? Like, is that something too that you do?
I don't know if I have the patience for that.
Right.
I do like to write, so but I keep it more on the short story side. And
that's cool. Yeah. So okay, let's if you think about where you'd like to go shoot, or the genres that you like, right? So you love comedy, then there's dramedy, right? What's like your you're kind of like, I think of Tiffany Haddish, right? Who she kind of like transitioned from like, you know, funny. She's always funny, but she went from like
Yeah.
stand up to like these
Yes.
movies, and then she
Yes.
like sprinkles it with a, because her stuff is like raunchy. Like her stand up is
Oh,
raunchy,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she goes into like, you know, nice rated PG kind of movies, right? So what's like
Mm-hmm.
your go-to genre, do you think?
Oh, my go-to genre, like if
For you to
I don't know, I
watch.
think, pardon?
For you to watch.
For me to watch, I'm
Uh-huh.
more drawn to dramas and thrillers.
Are you?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, Lincoln Lawyer, but I also like the Harry Potter
Ah,
and the Lord of the Rings. I'm
yeah.
like this. I'm just weird because I like a lot of different stuff, and I
Yeah,
think it's because of my kids as well. Like my
right.
daughter liked Twilight, so I watched Twilight with her.
Yeah.
My son was very much into Star Wars and the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, so I kind of like all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I'm a goofy nerd. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
am. I'm a goofy nerd. But I also like I'm drawn to watching like documentaries and dramas and thrillers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
nice. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you want to play any one of those kind of characters like sci-fi films or anything like that?
I want to be part of the Marvel industry.
Yeah,
Like I want to play a superhero
really.
because I just feel like I have it within me
Yeah.
because I want to save the world.
Yeah. But be
Yeah.
witty at the same time, right? Like be witty at the
Yeah.
same time. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's pretty witty, right? Says corny
Yeah.
things and still saves the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
use my sarcasm.
Right. Right.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay, so you've been single for 15 years. Why is
Yes.
that? Are you like super picky about the guys you let into your life, or are you just too
I
intimidating?
used I used to be super picky, but I'm not anymore. I've
Uh-huh.
kind of like, stuff like where when I was younger, I was like, okay, I got to date a guy who's 6 feet tall. And
Okay.
now stuff like that doesn't matter to me. It's
Right.
more like having the chemistry, having somebody who's going to treat me with respect and,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
And
you use it. I see you use it as like material. To you, it's
yeah,
hilarious, right? And I find that
yeah,
funny too. It's like a lot of people complain, "Oh, I'm still single," or "I can't find the right guy." And you've got all these dating apps out there, so it's like there's no reason to commit because the minute you don't feel like you want to be in that with that person anymore, you just download a dating app and you can replace them by swiping right, right?
that's right.
But you
Yeah.
here, you're like, well, I've been single for the one that made me laugh the hardest, right? I think when it comes to thinking about relationships is you said there I've been asked about these top 10 rules to dating me. Look
Yes.
at me. There's
Yeah.
more than 10, right?
Yeah.
It was like, what is wrong with
Yeah.
her? She's just shutting it down completely. Whatever guy you are, you have no shot. You know what I mean? Like she's not even trying it. She's just like making a joke. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
tell me about how you 15 years of being single. It's like to me, I think it's by choice. Right?
Well, I mean, I've dated along the way, so I haven't been single
Okay.
per se, but I haven't been in a serious relationship.
Okay.
So, but when I date, it's usually lasts 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And the last guy I dated lasted about 2 months, but like I
Okay.
said, there was no chemistry, no passion. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Are guys
it's
like, yeah, tell me, like, are they intimidated by you, by your success, by how outgoing you are, by how like straightforward you are? Like, what is it? Because a lot of guys want to know, right? If a lot of your friends, your followers are men, they're
yeah,
probably like, you know, thinking. And I look at your stuff and I'm like, you know what? She's just playing around with guys' emotions right now. Like, that's all she's doing. Because she's using it. Like, you use the sexuality, you use all of it, and you're like, yeah, you still can't touch this. Nah, 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 nah. Like, that's how I see your content when you talk about relationships, right?
yeah. I'm just really confident and I know what I want.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I haven't met the one yet.
Uh-huh.
Just yeah. That's it. I don't even know what to say about relationships.
Yeah.
I'm just used to being alone as well, right?
Right.
And like I said, it's like you have to have that passion, that chemistry. And it's funny because if I like somebody, that person won't like me back or won't feel that attraction towards me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And there's stories that I can tell you that would like are rated. So I hope we could talk about them on.
You can talk about whatever you want. As long as I don't know. We'll find out if I get censored on like YouTube or something.
Oh my God.
I do want to hear a funny story about, because it's like, look, I think everybody's been in like a shitty relationship, right? And then you kind of like, well, I don't want to be alone, so then you stay with that person, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of just put up with it. But then it's
and
like,
I don't.
Why did you do that to yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you probably know more about how to use that experience to make it funny.
Yes.
Right. So that's really why I wanted to take it. Like, how do you use that experience to make it funny? What is it about your relationships that are hilarious to you?
Well, can I give you one experience? Sure. And I'll try and keep it. So I met this guy, and he was really good looking, and we hit it off right off the bat. And while we were having intimate fun, you know, I don't know if I can,
like, messing around. Talk. You can talk. We won't get censored. I doubt you'll get censored, as long as we don't say anything about like whatever. But I doubt you'll get censored. But yeah, just to make it funny, like, this is content.
So I mean, it's funny to me, but it might not be funny to you. But I'm like, I wanted to use this as a bit, but I find some stuff I say on TikTok gets muted, so I'd probably just put it on Instagram and Facebook, because it doesn't. But so I was on top.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I can't even recreate the sound, but you know, as he was, you know, enjoying it and going to, you know, those squeaky toys?
Okay. Like little.
Like, he was just making this weird noise.
Oh, he's a weirdo. Yeah, he's a weirdo. Yeah.
I legit said.
He was making noise himself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
he's a weirdo.
I can't even make the noise because it's so hilarious. Like, yeah, anyways, I said, can you just not make that noise?
Yeah.
Like, I shushed him. He's like, looked at me. He's like, did you just shush me? And I'm like, yeah, like, what's that coming out of your nose or your mouth? Or like, I don't even know. It was just I just lost it. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. No,
was that like the first time or the only time, or was it like a reoccurring thing with him?
No, it was reoccurring, but it was the worst of that time. I think it was like the third time or something.
So you see, I'm glad that you shared that, right? Because I think that's the kind of content, that's the kind of material that Seinfeld would use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Elaine would probably walk into a conversation and just like burst into like Seinfeld's apartment and say, "You wouldn't believe what just happened to me." Right? Yeah. And that's the kind of content. I mean, that's good content. That's good material, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you try to, like, you know, make it as clean as possible, but it's if you put yourself in the moment, that's hilarious, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Seinfeld was a show that was based on absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
They never had anything to talk about that was like for real, right?
Yeah.
That was like one of the best. So I'm sure you have like a ton of those kinds of stories. But is that what leads to you, like, experiences like that? Like, is that what leads to you being single for like 15 years? Because you're like, oh, this is way too, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not into dirty talk or hearing my man, you know, sound like a squeaky toy.
Right. Right.
I could just visualize it in my head.
Right.
I was like, legit, like,
well, it ruins the moment for you, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's
really,
hilarious.
Oh my God. Yeah. But he's in a relationship. He's very happy, and I guess she's kinky like that, but whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah. Every time I hear a squeaky toy, I'm like, I think of that guy.
Ah, poor guy. You're scarred for life. That's what happened to you.
I'm scarred for life. No squeaky toys for my dog.
Yeah, that's funny. So, like, okay, if you what kind of advice do you give to women who are like, you know, confident like you, outgoing like you, having a hard time trying to find the right man right now. They're career driven, motivated, self-motivated. Like, what kind of advice do you give to them?
Oh God, I think I'm the worst person to ask for that.
Yeah.
But I would just say keep on doing what you're doing,
Right.
and you know, look for love, but don't look for love if that's what you're looking for. But
Yeah.
don't settle. You
Yeah.
know, keep on being your sexy badass self,
Yeah.
and yeah, the right person will come along. That's
Yeah.
what I feel. Yeah.
Sure. No, I think you're right, right? So like
Yeah.
when you think about, where you're gonna be, like, I don't know, as far as like your career, is your career gonna keep you, like the acting career, right? Is that gonna keep you in Canada, or do you see yourself moving around the world?
Well, I'm hoping it'll move me around the world. I,
Uh-huh.
I would like to see myself as a full-blown actress doing movies and or being on, comedy, TV sets and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just I hope something comes of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of
yeah.
TV
I
shows
mean
are like,
of my acting, pursuing my acting and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, you've got an agent, right? Is your agent looking for work and like you're trying to keep you busy in the meantime, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are on
Yes.
hold right now because of the virus.
Yeah, exactly. Like the borders are closed between Canada and the United States, and with COVID numbers on the rise, it's really you can't travel anywhere.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit on hold. So, but I still have my camera with me and my phone, and I can still create content and put my stuff out there. I have all social media platforms that I put my stuff out there,
Right.
YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and that's what I'm gonna keep on doing.
Yeah.
So
Which one
yeah.
was your favorite that you've done so far? Which TikTok skit was your favorite? And tell me why.
Oh wow. There's so many that I liked, but the one I did, it was my own creation, and it was Mindy Meekerson with the
Okay.
broken glasses. It was one of the first ones I've done.
Right.
And she wore gloves, and she was basically OCD about everything.
Hmm.
And she would wear turtlenecks, and she's like, "You don't need a mask. You just need your turtleneck,
Right.
and it's like easy. And
Yeah.
then you could just walk out of the house if you needed to." But
Yeah.
yeah, there's
That's
stuff like that. And
yeah. So they
then
all have a name, it sounds like each character has a name, right?
yeah, the
Or like,
characters I create have
yeah.
names,
Yeah.
but I have one. I don't think I did one with my Stacy character. She's um, like a Paris Hilton kind of ew character
Yeah.
that I haven't perfected yet. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I think you could do some things on YouTube. Like I see, like Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube. A lot of artists get
yeah,
discovered on YouTube. So it's like at some point, I think you're just gonna get to. I see your stuff, and I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna just like call her or something. I thought you were already I thought you were like a Hollywood actress.
oh,
I,
thanks.
yeah, and then I realized these
Yeah,
were all like TikTok skits, and then I was like,
yeah.
wow, she's way too good at this, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, you are obviously targeting, I don't know if you are intentional, but you're targeting a lot of men, right? And
Yeah.
do you see like a lot of like, how do women respond to your content?
Like I said, they don't. I get a lot of compliments on my outfits from
Mhm.
women, but it's very minimal. But for the most part, everybody's been pretty positive and really nice to me. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because of how I look and how I present myself on
Yeah.
YouTube or on TikTok or
Yeah.
any of my social media platforms. But yeah, people are like, I thought you would have a lot more followers than you do because honestly, I started in May or June and I only have 13,000 followers on YouTube or
Yeah.
on TikTok. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know. I don't really care. If you like me, follow me. If you don't, then don't. But
Yeah.
I'm not there to, yeah. Because in the bigger picture, I'm like, I don't want to be TikTok famous. I don't
Right.
want to be famous at all. I just want to be an actress. I want to act because that's my passion, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
tell. Yeah, somebody's gonna pick you up. Somebody's gonna call you and say, "Hey, they got a role for you" or something, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a
Fingers
little bit.
crossed.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. Don't worry. Yeah, as soon as things open up too. So you were married for like how long were you married before?
I was married for 5 years.
For 5 years. So you have 2 kids, and your kids, like,
Yes.
how do they feel about your stuff? Like,
Oh my God, they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know how kids are with their parents. It's like, you're not funny at all.
Right.
And it's like, I am funny because people tell me I'm funny, but because I'm your mom, you don't think I'm funny.
Right. Are they as confident as you are? Like, what do you tell your kids about building confidence and self-esteem and such? Like, what do you tell them?
Yeah, my kids are pretty confident. I mean, we all have our moments when we don't feel so confident. I have my moments where, you know, I don't feel confident, but I kind of like push it down, and I think it's more nerves, you know, that build up. Like today, I was really nervous coming on here, and I still have butterflies. I'm a little bit nervous, but
No, I can't tell. Yeah,
you know,
respect me. Not at all. Yeah, not at all. No, that's interesting. I say that because, you know, with everything going on right now with COVID, and, you know, kids they have to stay at home, and they're still trying to find a sense. And there's a lot of this, like, a lot of people who are single have this loneliness within them, right? And they're not as expressive as you are, right? So it's like they have to kind of like contain it, and they don't really know how to express that level of, like, I guess they're not vulnerable enough to express it. So it's like to watch you and to see somebody, you know, I'm 47 years old, you're like bragging about it because you know you're hot, right? So it's like, I'm a hot 47-year-old. You know what I mean? So it's like, but how do you like instill that or share that or encourage people to, like, you know, find that beauty within, right? And then just kind of like find the brighter side to life. Like, what do you say to people? I can imagine taking you out for like a beer, or like, you know, just going out for, you know, something to eat. And in 10 minutes, you'd probably make me laugh more than I've ever laughed in, like, you know, on my own within 10 minutes. Right? So what are you saying to people when they're like down and out, or like have confidence issues, or, right?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that I have this one lady, and she was I don't know, they just verbally abused her at her last job, and I'm like, you know, you're coming into this place here. I want just positive energy. I'm listening to you. I hear what you say, but you're not going to be called stupid here or dumb or anything. We're going to help you build your confidence. I just want to help build women's confidence that, you know, that if they lack it, I don't know.
It just kind of like, it just kind of happens, it sounds like, for you, right?
Yeah. I just don't sweat the small stuff.
Okay.
And I kind of don't let anything bother me. And I get rid of toxic people out of my life.
Get rid of toxic people.
And to be honest, I'm happiest when I'm single.
And
I just feel like at this point in my life, it's like, I just want a companionship. It's like, you live at your own place, I'll live at my own place. We'll get together, go for drinks, have dinner, you know, fool around, and you could go home and wash your own laundry.
Yeah. Even I think that sounds like a lot of women are saying right now, right? Yeah.
I think once you reach a certain age, that's just what happens. It's like, you know, my mom and dad are divorced after 30 years, and she's 65, and she's been on her own, and she's happy. She goes to work. She's retiring this year, and my mom's young. She's 65. So she's like, I don't need a man in my life. What for? To cook and clean and pick up after him?
Wow.
So she's a tough cookie too.
Marriage is changing from when I was a kid. It's not the same. It's more like a business arrangement. Actually, that's how it used to be in like medieval times. It was like a business arrangement, like way back, right? So less and less people get married now for like for love. Like love doesn't pay the bills, right?
So that's right. Yeah, I can take care of myself. I don't need, like, I dated this one guy last year, and oh my God, it was just a nightmare. Very first narcissist I met in my life. And it was, I didn't know what narcissism was until I met this person. And Tick Tock helped me figure out, you know, about the love bombing and the gaslighting and devaluing. And I'm like, oh, wow, he did that, and he did that, and he did that. And
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've heard of those terms, but I can't say that I know. Like, they're all like new terms to me, like gaslighting and what is the other one? Like, I've heard of them, but I'm like, I don't know.
Love bombing
Yeah,
is
what's
when
that?
so I dated a guy who we were talking for about a week and we went on a date and he
Uh,
actually told me to my face that he's like, I'm so in love with you. Like, I know I want to be with you.
hmm,
And for me, it's like growing up, listening to my grandmother talk about my grandfather and their love story. And it was love at first sight for them. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is what love at first sight is.
hmm,
So I didn't know about the love bombing and that there was people out there like that. And then,
hmm.
we talk for 2 weeks straight, like a couple of hours in the morning. We'd talk to 2 to 3 a.m. in at night,
Wow.
and then it would be like, oh well, I don't like your posture because you walk with too much confidence. You walk like you're a model. And I'm like, well, I do fashion shows and I have a straight back and I'm
Yeah,
sorry that I'm confident. So
yeah.
it's like I was always apologizing and then he's like, I don't like your lips.
What
They're
the?
yeah, just stuff like that. It was weird, just
Yeah,
weird.
that is
But
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Hello, she's a model. Like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be like,
yeah, I'm
so that
like,
whole trophy model, like, okay, trophy wife, Melania, for instance. Like, what do you
yeah.
think of that? Is that like objectifying a woman? Like to say
Like
that whole trophy wife kind of deal? Like, is that objectifying a woman, or is that like something that's like a confidence builder for a woman?
I I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both. I would like to be a trophy wife
Ah, okay. Because it's
with
when
a
you
younger man.
okay.
Can I have a younger man?
I'm sure you don't have a problem getting young guys. I'm sure you don't have a problem.
I don't. I don't. I
Yeah,
just yeah.
they probably seek you out, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They're
but
just good for one thing.
oh, there it is. There it is. She's coming to life, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there she is. Right. So I mean, it's changing now. Like the dating, field is changing now. It's like women are more independent today than they were,
Hmm.
years ago. Women are
Hmm.
more outspoken today than they were years
Hmm.
ago, right? Women are starting to realize
Yeah.
that they have this girl power feminine movement going on, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, can you still be hot and can you still, be in a good healthy relationship with a successful man and be called a trophy wife or be seen as a trophy wife without it hurting your feelings or like objectifying you? Like, is that still a possibility, right? Because a lot of
Uh,
men don't even know, like the men now are becoming more feminized, right? And it's happening. Like, women used to be attracted to alpha males, like a strong confident male. Now it's like, tell me how you feel, it's okay to cry. You know what I mean? And more guys are gravitating towards that kind of thing, and the women now are playing the man's role. So like, I'm confused
yeah.
because I'm like one of those alpha men, right? And it's like
Yes.
I'd rather be
Yes.
single if you're gonna make me like tuck my tool between my legs. Like I'm not doing that,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. I think a lot of women are just playing the male role right now, and we need to kind of scale it back a little bit and
yeah,
let our men take care of us.
yeah,
And it doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm not talking about financially, but I think men. It's the damsel in distress. That's
right,
what men like. I've dated a guy who told me I intimidated him and I made him feel inadequate. And
yeah,
I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but it's
right.
just because I have such a strong personality.
Well,
So,
for me,
yeah.
I have that that conversation sometimes with men, and I say, is it that she's making you feel less confident? Right?
Hmm.
Is it that she's making you feel emasculated? Because I've been
Hmm.
there, right?
Hmm.
And then when I start to get there, what I do is I withdraw and I go back
Yeah.
into a space where I can, be masculine again. I'll go lift some weights or I'll go do some, something manly, I guess. I don't know, something physical. I try to do something physical, right? But I
Yeah.
can't blame it on the woman that I'm with, right? But I feel
Hmm.
like what's happening now, a lot of men are looking for acceptance from the woman they're with just to like validate their masculinity or something,
Yeah.
and it's like you can't put that on her, like do you see
Yeah.
that has happened with you at all?
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I kind of dumb myself down and say I don't know how to do something just to get help with something from my partner.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, for an example, I don't know, some like lifting something heavy and saying I can't do it, but obviously I can.
Right.
You know, up to 50 pounds, nothing more, because I know that's my limit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that. It's like you have to let a man be a man. It's
Do you think it's confidence? Do you think like today's women have more confidence than today's men? Maybe, do you think that's a thing?
Yeah, and I think a lot of men harbor resentment from their old relationships and bring it to their new relationships. Not that women don't do that as well, because I do see a lot of women talking about, you know, they have trust issues and whatever, but you can't bring what happened in your past to your future relationships. You got to let it go, or else you'll never succeed in your future relationships. So,
that's
you just have
easier.
to let it go.
Yeah, it's like they don't take the time.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. It's easier said than done. Exactly. It's like they don't take the time to heal. I know, like after my divorce, you know, I was just playing around for like a good 2 years. And then when I first got into a solid relationship, like a real relationship after that, I started to realize what it was. Just like you describing with the guy you were with, is like I was too confident and I was too self-assured, you know? And then that makes me come across as like self-absorbed or like I don't need anybody kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, women are funny too, because I think that women want to see a man who can continue to earn her respect.
Yes.
Right? Is that true?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
But then men don't see that side of it, right? They just want to feel like they want to get their ego stroked. They want somebody to stroke
the men want to get their ego stroked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like what do you say? Okay, so like what do you say to men now? I asked you what you would say to women, but what would you say to men when it comes to like like confidence and masculinity and, you know, being vulnerable? Like, is that a thing? Like guys want to know, right? Like, should a man express his, you know, his emotions? And, you know, you call it love bombing, but a man is being told, oh, you're supposed to show, today's man actually is being told you're supposed to show that, right? So he might overdo it and overcompensate by doing this love bombing you're talking about, right?
Yeah. But I think that's different. That's somebody that has a toxic personality.
Okay.
But I just feel like I don't know if we were talking about the guy I was dating recently, where
the squeaky guy, the guy making the squeaky sounds?
No, not him.
Okay.
The one recently that we dated for 2 months.
Okay,
and
that
there was no like, but I took sex off the table, and then the good morning, you know, messages stopped. Well, you can't do that, because that just shows me that you're not interested in getting to know me. You're just interested in the sex part, but because I took that off the table, you're not making that effort anymore. So you got to continue making that effort. Like, stop ghosting women because you start feeling stuff for them. I've also like dated guys and I'm like, oh, I really like you a lot. I wouldn't mind continuing this relationship. And then it's like, poof, disappear. And it's like, what did I say? So you can't tell guys that you like them, because they get scared off as well. So it's like, I feel like it's a no-win situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you think it's because you take sex off the table, or is because they just are probably still dating, like they're playing the field?
It could be that too, but I feel with the last guy I was with, because we were spending a lot of time together, he wasn't dating anybody else. And it was just, I don't know how to say this, but I have a good intuition about people. So I know if somebody's cheating on me, if that makes sense. And I know if somebody's being faithful to me. So I think I just have good intuition.
Yeah. Women are hard to read today.
You know, men are hard to read today.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. But women
dating is not the same as it used to be when our grandparents and our parents were dating.
Right.
They were courting each other.
Yeah.
They were actually going on dates. So
courting. That's what you were looking for. You were looking for courting. You wanted to be courted. Is that what you're saying?
I actually did a TikTok with video saying men nowadays don't send love letters and recite poetry to our grandmothers and our moms and dads anymore. Now what men are doing is sliding their dick pics into our DMs. It's like,
it's a fact. Yeah, it's a fact.
It is a fact.
Yeah,
and I've gotten quite a few of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I told my aunt one day, I said, I'm going to make a collage of all the dick pics and hang it on my wall. I'll make an abstract.
Huh? You got that many, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to make it abstract and then going to put it on the wall. Yeah.
That's retarded. Look, all right. So I personally don't understand why guys do that, especially after the Wiener thing. You heard about the Wiener thing? Like this guy, whatever his name was, Wiener.
Oh yes. Yeah. Didn't he send his dick pic to a younger girl or something?
Yeah. So it's like you guys are just like, this is a hello. Like just don't do that. Like idiots, right?
Yeah.
But then the other part of it is like, I think there are girls like you out there who are like, let me see if I can get this guy to do this just for kicks. You know what I mean?
No. Actually, I have another funny story. No, when I was newly single and I was on like a dating website.
Yeah.
I legit was about to step out the door. I looked phenomenal. I had really blonde hair with this black, strapless dress on, and he was going to take me to a really nice restaurant, and my phone bings and I look at it and he legit sent me a dick pic as I was leaving to go on a date to meet him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm going to be traveling half an hour to come see you, and what's the point of sending this? Like, I don't understand.
He's an idiot.
Like, what is going on with these guys?
You're right. The standards, the standards have gone down. You know what's funny? I was watching, I'm into like the oldies, right? I'm into like old music from like the 60s and such. And I was watching these guys, they were swing dancing. And swing dancing, now if you talk about courting a woman, I mean, oh my gosh, like the men today are not picking women up and flipping them around and over their necks and you just worked harder back then to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
To be with this woman. And I'm not talking about just like, to marry this woman, but for like a lay maybe, right? And these guys were doing all of this, like throwing women around, and this is like cardio. You ask me, that's cardio.
I know.
I'm not doing all that. That's crazy. But you're right. Like men are not working as hard or even trying as hard. They're not courting. You're right about that, as they used to back in the day. So that's disappointing, I guess, right? For a lot of women.
Yeah, it is. It is very disappointing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, for me, it's very important. I will only date a guy. I mean, I've been on coffee dates and stuff like that, and I get it. It's like you don't want to, pay for the dinner and, put that effort into it. But for me, it's like when a guy, I just feel it's when a guy asks me out on a date, he's like, we like going to the Keg here in Canada. I don't know if you have the Keg there in the States, but it's a really nice steakhouse. And when a guy asks me out to dinner and that's what he says, and he pays for dinner and doesn't say, oh, we got to split the bill and whatever, that's just putting an effort in. And that makes me more attracted to go on a second date and a third date,
Right.
So I feel it's very important to kind of like start dating people like that, as opposed to just asking them to go to Starbucks or Tim Hortons for coffee.
Right. Yeah. But then you've got women who are like, no, I can pay for my own. Like I've seen that, but I'm the kind of guy that's like, listen, no, right? Like I put my foot down kind of, but then like the last woman I was with, she would get upset when I did that. And I was like, first thing you don't do is you don't argue with me in public. Like just don't argue with me in public. Don't do that. Right. We'll get a lot further that way. So just when we go out, let me pay. Right. And she used to be funny about it, like, because it was taken away from her self-confidence, I guess, and to show how independent she was. And I'm like, don't worry, I know you got money, but allow me to be a man. Like, if I'm going to open the door for you, I'm going to pay. Right. And I do that. Like, that's how I am. Right. And that's how I was brought up. So for me, it's weird. You know, the other thing that's weird? The other thing that's weird is to see, like, when you're walking in the street and you're on the sidewalk and there's a woman on the outside and she should be like on the inside. right? And I see a lot of guys do that. And I'm like, where the hell, like this generation of men, it's crazy that you have her walking on the outside. Like,
exactly.
guys
I
don't even know that.
notice these things too when I go out on dates and we're going for walks and stuff to see where and if he's on the inside, I'd be like, no.
Yeah. Because you're more traditional. You're like more of a traditional woman. Today's women, they're more independent. The modern woman is more independent. Not that you're not independent, you are, but the standards for today's modern women are lower. So the men don't even know to keep your girl on the inside. They just don't know to do that because they weren't told. Or whatever the story is. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I tell my son, I say, listen, because like I'm like, no, that's wrong. You see how because he's got a little sister, and his little sister is 5, right? So it's like me, and we'll be walking in the streets, and I'm like, they walk on the inside of me because it's safer, right? And I'm like, your sister goes on the inside. So he understands, but I think the generation of men today have gotten softer. They become more feminized, and the expectations are lower, and they don't know how to court a woman, so they're sending dick pics. And you girls are stuck with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my son is 22 and he's the same. And we were having this conversation and I didn't even bring it up. I just think it was how I raised him to be, respectful of women. But he's like, I think he was like 17 or 18. And he's like, my girlfriend will never have to pay for anything because I'm going to take care of her. And I'm like, for an 18-year-old, he's an old soul. He's an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be proud, right? Job well done.
I'm very proud.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope guys hear this, right? Because even though, like, you're hot, right? And you're funny and you have this personality and you're like, I'm 47, but I'm hot. And you have this right here, like that kind of woman is intimidating to guys. And before they know how to come correct, they're gonna do all kinds of weird shit, like send you dick pics. Like, I guess that's what's happening to you, right? But to hear you say that, no, that's not acceptable. I still like to be courted. I still like to be, romanced. I think the more guys hear that, then, it'll take some time. Give us time because we're simple creatures, right? We're very simple. But I think in time, guys will get the message, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
But then it goes
down
to...
they'll get them.
Yeah, but then it goes down to like always holding them accountable to that. You know what I mean? For women to hold them accountable, right?
Yeah.
You just, I guess, what would you tell guys though? Like if you were to give them like one piece of advice or maybe 2 pieces of advice, right? To like make a relationship work with a confident woman, what would you say to
them? Make an effort, keep it consistent. Don't send dick pics.
Right.
And just keep the lines of communication open. And it's also comprehension, understanding each other. Because if you're not speaking the same language, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Okay.
I refuse telling a person that, how amazing I am.
Right.
I shouldn't have to. You should see it in my actions and my demeanor and who I am and how I portray myself. So
yeah. Okay. So like when a guy sees that you're taking and women do this, women do they take sex off the table, but men feel like they're being punished when that happens, right? So they see it as a form of...
How are you being punished when you're just getting to know somebody, right? In the beginning, it should be getting to know that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a TikToker on there. I can't remember her name, but she's written a couple of books. And she's like, you should even not kiss a person for 3 months. So I'm like, and I always try not to make comments on TikTok because I just like it.
Yeah.
And my question to that is, but what if they're a shitty kisser? Even after the 3 months.
You won't know for 3 months.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't know if I could wait 3 months to kiss a person because.
So like I was brought up like Catholic, right? And
me too.
I still practice, like I still go to church, right? And there is that like I guess also rule, right? That if there's no for like premarital sex or even like, and that's where the courting comes in. It becomes so important too, right? I guess I just never could do it. Like I got a really super high sex drive me. So it's like if that's what it's gonna be, then I better go work out like a lot, right?
I can introduce you to 2 people.
Oh,
They're called Pamela and Jill.
I'm good.
I'm kidding.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. right? But like that's what it is, because one thing leads to another. You know what I mean? Like one thing leads to another. When it's like, okay, if you're gonna say no to kissing, then it's like I kind of agree. Okay, if sex is off the table altogether, no kissing at all. Then you know what I mean? Because it's like that for a man. It's like, oh, you just open the door to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's kind of tricky. It's a little tricky, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you 3 years from now? 5 years from now? Are you still in Canada? Are you still doing the acting?
Yeah, I'm hoping that I am gonna be doing movies and maybe have my own TV show.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. Possibly living in Canada.
Yeah.
Maybe not living here anymore. I love Canada. I think it's the greatest place to live out of everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel safe here. But I think I would like to in 3 to 5 years travel a bit more when COVID is non-existent. Hopefully it'll be eradicated, like all the other pandemics that happened hundreds of years ago. But
right. Supposedly there's a vaccine or something coming out. That's what they say. Right.
I actually went to go see a psychic, and she told me I'd be making a really big move and I'd be living in Italy for the rest of my life in a couple of years. So it's funny you should ask me that, but I'm like, I don't know, Italy? Like that's weird. Maybe British Columbia, but not Italy. But I'm like, do you see me like, you know, she told me to still continue pursuing my career in acting because she sees, you know, that happening, a future in that, and she sees that I'm very creative. But yeah, she doesn't see me living in Hollywood or LA.
Yeah.
So
more jerks out there. You don't need to be out there, but there's a lot of money out there for the acting. Yeah, so maybe that's cool though. Italy,
but you know, when you film a movie, you're traveling everywhere anyways. So yeah. My priority is myself and to make myself happy and to follow my dreams and my goals. And I want to be an actress. So if I'm in a relationship, great. You're going to have to be supportive. And yeah, that's just secondary right now.
Right. It's not. Yeah. Gotcha. You seem pretty happy. You like being single. I
do. Yeah, I'm happiest when I'm single. I have my girlfriends that I talk to and, you know, my work buddies, and I'm happy. Yeah.
You make the best jokes out of it. Like you use it all. It's all good material. It's all good material. Yeah. Let's play a quick game. We'll play a game.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with you though, huh? Let's see. It's called Hands Down the Bottom Line. It's called Hands Down the Lightning Round, right? I'm going to give you 3 topics, okay?
Okay.
And which each topic, you tell me your bottom line, your truth about the topic, okay?
Okay.
If you don't like the topic, just say pass, and I'll move on to the next one. All right?
Okay.
Okay. I'm still thinking about Pamela and Jill, whatever you said.
Jill, Jill, Jill.
That's hilarious.
My brother told me that joke, and oh my God, he kills
that's
me.
A good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, 3 topics. All right. First topic. First topic.
I told you I'm a weirdo.
No, you're not. You're funny is what you are. And good stuff. Yeah. All right. First topic. Favorite stand-up comedian of all time. I'm going to give you 2. All right. Or actually, you tell me yours. Tell me yours and I'll tell you who my favorite is. Favorite stand-up comedian of all time.
Oh, geez. Okay, so there's so many though. I have 2.
You have 2. Okay.
More than 2. Like, I like Russell Peters. I like Wanda Sykes. And I like Sebastian Maniscalco.
I don't know that guy.
He's the Italian guy.
Okay.
He's Sicilian.
Oh.
Look him up, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. I saw him live up in one of the casinos here.
Yeah.
You'll laugh your ass off with him.
Yeah. All right.
And then there's Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes is funny. Yeah.
She kills me. And Russell Peters.
Okay. I gotta look him up. I haven't heard of him either.
What?
Russell Peters? I haven't heard of him. You know, because it's like whatever's on Netflix is what I'll probably Remember the
He's
moment.
on Netflix.
Is he really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look for him. Russell Peters.
Yeah.
Mine of all time. I go back and forth between these two because one of them just keeps getting better. Right? He's
Okay.
still doing it. So it's Eddie Murphy, but like
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
from like the 80s, right? With the leather suits
Yeah.
on.
With the leather purple suit. Oh my God, he kills me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see the one he did for Rocky?
There's so many, like there's too many comedians to mention, like
Yeah.
to be your favorites.
Oh
But
yeah, I kind of got it down to these two because like
okay.
it takes when I listen to comedy for me, it's like I'm gonna try my hardest not to laugh.
Yeah.
And if you got me going, you're good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So those two
Yes.
do it for me. So it's like Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle. Those guys
Okay. Yeah,
crack
I
me up.
agree. I agree. But there's also like Chris Rock.
He's all right now. I'm not. I think
What?
he got a little soft. I think he got a little soft. He's clean. He's a little cleaner now.
Yeah, but his old stuff is
His
good.
old
So
stuff is
he's
good. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Dave Chappelle is pretty
But if
funny.
you
Yeah.
put him up against Eddie Murphy, what do you think? Put Chris Rock up against Eddie Murphy from like the 80s.
I like Chris Rock. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I just feel like I like Eddie Murphy, but he's more on the raunchier side for
He is,
me.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah,
ruthless. Yeah, he's relentless. That guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I got yours. Okay. Second topic. Um. Hmm. For guys on the how long should a guy wait before he should expect to have sex with a woman he just started dating?
I'm gonna go with the 3-month rule.
3-month rule.
Yes,
Yeah, that's more of
yes,
a traditional woman. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Yes,
You hear
yeah.
that, fellas? Stop playing around, man. Um, give her at least 3 months. Right? That's a good rule of thumb. I think anything that's after 3 months, you pretty much know whether you're in or you're out, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not gonna wait 3 months to kiss a guy.
Okay.
Because if you don't know how, because I'm a good kisser, and
Uh-huh.
if you don't know how to kiss me,
Uh-huh.
it's like all bets are off.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
I know, like I know how to play the game, right? So it's like if I'm not gonna get any sex, I'm not gonna kiss you. Like that's not gonna happen. You're making
No,
me,
I'm saying you can kiss me. I'm
yeah,
not gonna wait three
right. No,
months
you.
to kiss somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I already know that game, so I'm like, I'm not gonna go that route. Like I already know who. Like I'm not doing it because it's a her. I'm doing it because of
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, but that's interesting that you say that, right? So
But
three
I think
months.
if a guy is really interested in you, he's gonna wait the 3 months.
Oh, he'll wait. Yeah, he'll wait longer.
Yeah.
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 You won't even
Yeah.
think about that 3 months. He'll like,
Hmm.
I'll wait for as long as she wants me to wait. I don't care. I
Yeah.
want her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how you know, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, 3 months, fellas. No dick pics, okay? Um,
And
yeah.
be consistent.
Be consistent.
And no ghosting.
No ghosting, right?
If you're and speak up. If you're not interested, be an adult. You know, send them a message. If you're going to send it through a text message, just say, sorry, I didn't feel it with you, and move on. Just don't leave them hanging and wondering why they got ghosted, because then they're going to think that something's wrong with them,
Right.
especially if they're a little bit more on the insecure side.
Right.
Which, yeah.
Yeah. Be a gentleman
Yeah.
about it. Be a
Just be a
gentleman about
man.
it.
Even for women, if you're not into
Yeah.
a guy, don't ghost him. Just let him know.
Yeah.
Not into him. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Oof. That's a good one. Easier
Yeah,
said than done, I guess, right? With
it is.
technology we
But
have today.
we need to grow up and start being adults and treating each other with respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's talking
plain
from
and
the heart
simple.
right now. I don't think I've ever seen you so serious. What? What? Let me hear it.
But I have a serious side too. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah. No, I think
that's from the heart.
no, it's from the heart. Listen, that's good. That's good
Yeah.
advice to the guys, to the fellas. I know. I'm guilty
Mhm.
of it too. I'm not gonna like sit here and act like I'm perfect. I'm guilty of it too. I've ghosted quite a few people. I've been ghosted, so I know how it
You know
goes.
what? I've done it a couple of times,
Yeah.
but I feel bad after.
Right.
But it's not. When I ghost somebody, it's usually in the initial stage where I haven't met them, and
Okay.
it's like I just the text messages, the communication.
Right.
Yeah, I just know it's not going to go anywhere. I feel like I have more of an intuition, kind of ESP side
Yeah.
to myself.
Well, you see it, you see deeper within, right? So it's like crazy too, because like I've actually been really good friends with some of the girls that I've broken up with. Like we make really good friends, but we're horrible together. Like in a relationship.
A lot of the guys I've dated, I've stayed friends with. Not that I go out with them or anything, but we reach out to each other and say, "Hey, how's it going? What's up? What's new?" But never go out for drinks or whatever. But I'm sure you know doing that would be fine as well. But I kind of set my boundaries with that though.
Gotcha. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So third topic, last topic. So you did say Italy, but I'm more curious to know where would Stella vacation? Like where would you go for a vacation?
Oh, my dream vacation would be Bora Bora. That's where,
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you been there before?
No.
No?
It's very expensive to go. But that's, it's like, but I heard the weather's very rainy there.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. I just heard that through the grapevine. But I would like to be in the Polynesian Islands.
Nice.
Tahiti, Fiji, anywhere around there.
Nice. Yeah.
But my dream vacation would be to backpack through Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those would be my two.
Nice. Yeah. I like the Fiji Polynesian Islands thing. That's I'd definitely be all about that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I go on vacation, I just want to be by a pool or a beach and not do anything.
Just relax.
Just relax.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. And what is your bottom line, Stella? So bottom line, your reoccurring truth, that thing that no matter what, in spite of any setback, it serves as rocket fuel for you, right? To push you forward. What is that for you? What's your bottom line?
Honestly, just never give up. And I've been in situations where I was almost homeless and, you know, I'd be 2 steps ahead of the game and then life would just knock me back 3 steps, but always fight, always keep on, keeping on.
Yeah.
You wake up every day. I'm grateful for everything that I have in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just moving forward. Never give up.
Never give up.
Even when you're at the bottom, never give up.
Yeah.
Always look up.
Yeah. Love it. You're a strong woman. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've had a lot of trauma in my life and it's just, I never turned to drugs, alcohol, you know, what is it called? Self-harm or, it's just, my life has made me stronger along the way.
Yeah. No, that's great.
And just having a very strong support system, that's what you need in life.
Yeah. Love it. And humor and laughter.
Yeah. And never get offended when somebody, you know, when there's that one person that sends you, you know, that DM that says, "Oh my God, your TikTok suck," or "You suck," or, you know, I've had a couple of those, which were just a couple, but I've had a lot more positive reaction than negative. So like I say, I see stuff and I want to comment, but then I'm like, I delete it and I just heart it and I move on. I don't say anything. I just keep my thoughts to myself.
Yeah. So the trolls, right? Don't even think about the trolls. Don't give them any power, kind of, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't really
give
see
trolls the power. That's what it is.
Everybody's got trolls, right? And I think we can use them we can kind of use them because
and a lot of people do use them in their videos as well. So it makes for great content.
That's exactly it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's fun. Yeah. Any last words for the people, Stella?
Just I know with COVID and everything, life is hard for some of you, but just keep on keeping on and stay safe. Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. Mask up.
Yeah. And don't wear your mask in your car because that looks dumb.
That does look dumb.
I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'll be like leaving work and I have my mask on in my car because I forgot to take it off and I'm like, oh my God, I must look like a dork right now because I have a mask on in my car driving.
Right. Craziness. Yeah. So what I learned a lot from you today. You know what I mean? What's most important, I think, what it all boils down to is to continue to believe in yourself, right?
That's right.
That's what it all boils down to. Continue to
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your standards are the way they are because you believe in yourself,
That's
right?
right.
So whether it
Yeah.
comes to like your acting, the material you choose for acting, whether it comes to, you know, the guys you're dating, you know, where you're
Yeah.
working, and it all
Yep.
boils down to because this is where I see myself, this is how much I believe in myself, these are my
Mm-hmm.
standards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it really just makes me think you say you're like a traditional woman and you're 47, but you have this young soul, like this playful
Yes.
spirit about you. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
got this playful spirit about you, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
still a child at heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
keeps you so young and keeps you so
Yeah.
vibrant, right?
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
fun. I definitely had a lot of fun talking with you.
Thank you. Me too. I had so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. So this was great. Where do people find you? You're on Instagram and
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. You can find me everywhere.
there you go. Right? This was fun. So this is the Bottom Line Podcast today with Stella Nicola, Stella D out in Canada, right? Follow her
Yeah.
on TikTok, follow her on Facebook, follow her on whatever social media platforms you're on, right? Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I have Twitter, but I don't really use it.
See? Okay. So yes, follow her on social media. Her content is hilarious. Okay. And definitely we'll catch you on the
Thank
next
you.
one. This was the Bottom Line Podcast, where we say what we mean and we mean what we say, because at the core of everything that is, was, and forever will be, it will always be the bottom line.